I'm not gonna do it.
Oh,
what is it?
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! He chose violence.
Wow! He said the offside. Anto, the gesture of the offside. But you gotta respond.
We're not live anyway.
Oh, we're
live. Oh, we are live, Faiza.
All right. You want a reaction? You're not gonna get a reaction. I'm gonna just say what I say when it's my time to talk, and then
now it's your time to talk, Anto.
It's my time to talk.
Show him.
No, we're not live, are we?
Oh, I'm recording, so we are. Yeah,
no, we're not live. So let me know when we're live, and then
no, we are.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm that serious.
Do the introduction. Hurry up.
Man, all you did was raise your hand up and you triggered him so much. Guys, everybody, welcome to the podcast, the IFTV podcast. This is the last podcast of the year, right?
Of the year.
Of the year, because we only have one more game of Serie A, which is going to be tomorrow, midweek. What an interesting 2021.
Well, we're not going to do anything.
Maybe we could do something special.
We should do a special we can do Christmas Eve in the morning.
You're going to come on New Year's?
Yeah.
Oh, you got
your
presents
wife
for
is
us?
not going to say yes to that.
Soccer before everything, okay? Is that right?
Calcio over everything.
Calcio over
That's
everything.
That's right.
Or bros before.
Okay, I don't think we don't have to say that far. We don't have to say that far.
I am finished. You can do it. You can do that. You gotta be careful.
Bros before foes.
Yep.
You know what a foe is?
Bros before idiots.
So why are you here with us?
Oh, you're an idiot, I guess. You're admitting that. Good. I didn't say that you're an idiot, but if you admit it.
That's our friends, Anto. Why are you saying that?
No, he said it with us. I mean, that means he admitted that he's an idiot.
Guys, as great as this last round was with the amount of drama that we had, we have to thank our premium sponsor, Paramount Plus. What an incredible weekend that we had with Bobo Vieri, who was live with us, live from the San Siro with Matteo, with Dre. Very cool to see the coverage from Paramount, always stepping up every day in terms of the production value, because it's cool to have a former player, one of the best ever,
incredible,
give
legend.
his opinion, speak about it. I thought it was a cool little mix. So thank you for them. They're sponsoring our podcast for the entire year. So shout out to Paramount. The link is in the top of the description to download and get yours today. What a weekend that we had. We're not gonna start off with the way Peter started the podcast. We're gonna ease into it. We're gonna ease into the controversy. We'll get to it. I know that you have a very strong opinion. I know everybody wants to speak about it. We'll start with the Campioni d'Inverno, the winter champions, Inter. Because Milan failed to win, Inter are crowned champions of winter. Congratulations, Pete. You won 5-0 against, was it Salernitana this week? Yeah, I lose track because last week I think it was.
Is Salernitana still in Serie A or?
Wow.
You should do your classic. They got 1 foot in Serie B and 1 foot on a banana peel.
Wow. That's bad.
Did you guys beat Salernitana? I hope.
Oh man.
I don't remember.
No, Milan definitely did.
Right? Yeah, I would see. We're not even sure. Pete, you see how everyone attacks now, right? They make it seem like it's easy.
So Peter, you've been the best team so far in this first half of the season. How are you feeling about your squad? It's extremely strong, deep bench, not hit with as many injuries too, as well as Napoli and Milan.
Mm-hmm. Listen, Winter Champions is a great title, but it doesn't mean anything. In the end, you have to win the Scudetto when it comes down to the end of the season, May. That's when it counts. So we're only halfway there. Obviously, it's a good indication of how this team is looking. I think Inzaghi has built this team off of Conte's hard work, and he's been able to make slight adjustments that have made this team look like they're a well-oiled machine. We see a nice style of play, attack-minded game. We were at once complaining early on that we were maybe leaving ourselves way too exposed, but now we finally see the balance of this Inter team, and obviously we have a deep bench. We have players that can come on, such as Correa and Sanchez, that can change the game at a moment's notice, or when we want to give a break to Dzeko, Lautaro, we have a good mix. And that's not even to say the midfield that we have. Çalhanoğlu has been a sensational signing. He's scored, in the last 7 games, I think. He scored or assist. So he's filled that void that Eriksen has left. And, we're still waiting to see what Sensi can bring when you can bring on, the muscle of Vidal, Gagliardini, Vecino, there's a lot of things going, and my biggest worry was maybe the defense, that we don't have the substitutes for the three guys in the back. But Ranocchia, when asked to do something, he's been able to step in. Di Marco also has stepped in whether it be the left fullback position or the left third center back. So, and even D'Ambrosio. So I'm pretty happy where we look. And listen, I want to maybe put a comparison to Inzaghi. And obviously it's early. Listen, we can't jump to any conclusions. But the Italians didn't invent pasta, right? The noodles came from China.
What is pasta to do with noodle?
I'm just explaining to you. The noodles came from China. The Italians made it better and created spaghetti, and everyone knows it Italy for pasta. So Inzaghi, maybe it wasn't the one that created this Inter team, but he's been able to make it better. And that's what he's going to remember.
I think the comparison that you're making is garbage.
Like Edison with the light bulb, you could say, right?
Yeah.
Nicholas Tesla invented the light bulb.
But Edison got the cred.
What?
He made it better.
What are you guys
we can even talk about gelato. The Italians didn't make. Or how about
Listen
this?
to
The
me.
Turkish made
all
coffee.
The three of you got it all
The
wrong.
Turkish made coffee.
Alessandro
The Italians made it
Volta is the one that invented the light bulb. If you're freaking talking on the mic right now and you're looking at that thing, it's Alessandro Volta. He's an Italian guy.
And also Marconi made the radio.
Okay. Well, we're talking about lights now.
And what about the telephone?
The telephone, it was
Meucci.
Guglielmo Marconi, yeah.
No,
sure.
Meucci. Marconi was the radio.
Okay, but regardless, moving on, I do want to say
Nothing from the Greeks, by the way.
we invented everything else. Don't worry, you guys can take the light bulb.
Seven out of the last 10 winter champs went on to win the league title. Last year, it did not go that way. Milan won it, and then they reversed. How do you feel? Does that make you feel confident? You also, by the way, 100 goals in the calendar year for the first time in your team's history.
Over 100 goals. Just making sure.
Give me a check.
No, yeah, it's great, but it doesn't mean anything until you win it in May. That's number one. But number two is the confidence that you see this team play with, and being able to beat the bottom teams and finish them. It's so important.
Comfortably, yeah.
Look at Juventus. The biggest problem with Juventus isn't necessarily the top teams when they verse head to head, but losing points to Empoli, losing points to Venezia, Udinese, like that's where you're gonna lose the Scudetto.
Yeah, P, I agree with you a lot. Inter has, I feel like, taken the league by storm almost after not that good of a start, but they seem to really gel and seem like the team from last season have really awoken. But this time last year, after the same amount of rounds, and now Inzaghi has 2 more points than Conte did last team after the same amount of rounds, which is pretty impressive. But the thing is, for me, which football did you enjoy more overall? Because Bastoni actually said Conte's football was more rigid, he demanded a little bit more, and he said Inzaghi's a little bit more free-flowing and you could be more creative. As a fan, as an Inter fan yourself, what do you think?
I think the priority is always to win.
After that.
And then after that, like when you can win with style, that's where you show the team coming together and becoming a powerful team within Italy, but we also hope within Europe. So if I have to say, I think watching the Inzaghi's Inter is obviously more enjoyable. We have more players going up. There's more, instead of playing the direct, find Lukaku and try to put the ball over, you see a lot more movement. The team, the midfield can interchange at any time, and Brozovic has kept his regista role, and he's so important for the way this team moves.
It's a season of giving. I think it would be nice if every time we speak about somebody else's team, we give one compliment. So, Antonio, can you give one compliment to Inter?
Oh, this might be tough. Yeah.
My compliment to them will be congratulations. If you win the Campione d'Inverno, which you did, you might gradually, that's a compliment.
Thank you.
And then my wish is that you're going to hit a huge snag. And then you end up just, losing 15, 20 points.
One guy that we have to talk about, that is on my mind right now. It's the first player that came to mind. We're talking about great teams. I'm thinking about a great player. And I have to tell you, when I'm thinking about Serie A and when I'm thinking about watching a match, I see this player and I know this player is in the starting 11 and I see him and I tune in every single time because I don't know what magic he is going to create. I don't know the goals that he's going to score and I don't want to be the one to miss it because it feels like
Vlahovic.
There's a true superstar on our hand. Antonio, you are a genius. This is why you're the maestro of the podcast.
I don't know
Dusan
why
Vlahovic.
why you keeping these players up. You keep bringing up because your wish is that this guy here is going to go join Juventus.
Can we focus on Vlahovic right now?
Okay, focus on
focusing
Vlahovic.
Vlahovic.
Right.
He scored 33 goals in this calendar year. Still has one more game to play. He equaled Ronaldo's record because Ronaldo also had 33 in a single calendar year. It's a record that goes back to the 1950s where Nortal had more goals than them. So in the three-point era in modern Serie A, modern football, tied for the most at 21 years old, playing for Fiorentina, which is simply incredible for him. Even, there was one thing. I saw some fans criticizing him because he came off, he got subbed off, and he was pissed. He was pissed at Italiano, he was pissed at everything. And I took this as a good thing. I said, I don't want any player to get subbed off and be happy that he subbed off. This is a striker who's hungry. It's a striker who still felt like he wanted to score. He wants to be on that pitch, and you want a player who's hungry to score goals and never wants to be on the bench. At the same time, you do have to respect Italiano because Italiano is the reason why this team is as far as it is. And he took him out because they had a red card, and it was smarter to just get a draw against a very strong Sassuolo side. So I understand that. But man, this player, Vlahovic, is unbelievable. Who's the last young player in this league that we've seen that has the qualities of him?
On this league, the last one.
As a number 9 or
As a 9. Or it could be like who you've been this excited for to be like on top of world football. Like I genuinely feel like this guy's gonna be on top of world football.
This is not for me, but I've seen a quote where he said he's very similar body types and how he plays to Zlatan, which is kind of interesting because they do have similar body types and how they play, how they hold the ball, how they score spectacular goals, and kind of that fearless attitude. That's how Vlahovic. I feel like that's how I've seen him. So I think that would be a good shout. I don't know if
Anybody
you guys have
got
anything
something
in mind.
I'm not sure if talent-wise you can match him with Zlatan, but I don't know. It's just you named Ronaldo before, so I would say he's getting closer to Ronaldo in terms of. Not the phenomenal, the one at the Terrace.
I meant more so like a young 21-year-old kid in Serie A. I don't remember somebody who every single week is like a guarantee.
I would say Adriano. Growing up, Adriano was spectacular until his father passed away. But he was an unbelievable talent, and what he did, with Inter in the first couple of seasons, he was going to be the next star of Brazil. His power, his ability to beat you one-on-one, his speed, it was just unstoppable.
We were looking it up. Fiorentina paid less than $2 million for Vlahovic when they signed him. And of course, there are players that you could always go back and say, all right, this player didn't work, and they spent more on him. But it's pretty incredible. Also, the time that he needed. He needed a little bit of time to get his foot in. Is it still too soon to label this guy as one of the next? We talk about there's the Mbappes of the world. There's the Haalands of the world who everyone will talk about and say they're going to be dominating world football. Is it too soon to put him in that category of those other 2-3 players?
It is.
How come?
Because I like to see him what he's capable to do on a big stage. A lot of the players that they had a lot of promises and a lot of potential. When they stepped up on the big stage, they folded. They melted out. So
like Piontek, is that what you mean?
Well, that's one of them. I mean, it's not. I don't compare Piontek with Vlahovic. I think Vlahovic has got a lot more talent. But I'm not talking about in particular anybody that played on AC Milan. But I just seen plenty of big promises. Players that they had a lot of juice, and then they moved to big teams, and then they totally disappeared.
Well, he's already in Serie A. He's already done this for the past 2 years as far as
but where in
goals.
Fiorentina? He's been in Fiorentina.
So I understand your point as far as I think he's a step below the Haaland and Mbappe, and the reason why I say that right now is because he hasn't done it on the world stage, whether it be a World Cup or Champions League. He hasn't even played Europa League. So that's where you can say, okay, he's going to be a world-class player. And I think, like I said, he's on the step below. So all it takes is getting that opportunity to be on a team, like Antonio said, being on a team that's going to play a top competition like the Champions League, and then being able to prove it at that stage, and you're good to go.
Yes, I'll tell you, I'm going to add one more thing to what he just said. When you play in AC Milan, or Inter Milan, or Juventus, or the three best teams that we have so far, even a lot of Napoli and Roma. I mean, not even Napoli and Roma. There is the pressure that you have on AC Milan or Juventus or Inter. It's much farther than any other team. So for me, Vlahovic is playing not with no pressure, but with a relative pressure on his shoulder. So whether the team wins or loses or is tying, he's showcasing himself without having to win the game. Because if you don't win, the highlights is on you. Oh, you didn't win. Look what you have over there. Cristiano Ronaldo. When Juventus didn't win, everybody focused on him. So that's what I'm trying to say is that the pressure that he has right now on himself, it's not what you will have if you will step on a stage like San Siro or Torino or playing for.
I can't fault him for that. He just hasn't been able to.
Yeah, but
I mean, I'm not faulting him, but I said that's I wanted to see for him to be anointed to be a very big guy. You have to just prove it on a big
take the
stage.
next step.
Gotcha.
Unfortunately, you have to take the next step, whether it be we know already because Rocco's come out.
It could be anybody.
Oh, we'll see. But I was gonna say his first year, he had a lot of trouble adjusting to Serie A, and I remember that team Fiorentina was risking relegation. And a lot of question marks. And Vlahovic, they gave him the ball and said, listen, you're going to be at number 9. And he proved that he has a lot of character. And going from what Gaetano said in the past as far as him having that attitude to put in the work, it came a long way.
It was so fun to mess with my dad. Remember that first year where he hyped up Vlahovic, like this guy's gonna be the best, and then he scored a couple goals.
The guy was avoiding the podcast because we kept messing with him.
Every single week, we would just send a text message saying like, "Oh, your boy Vlahovic did nothing." Obviously, we were just messing with him at the time, and now he's seen the clip and he's been very happy that he was one of the first, and it was cool to see a lot of the fans who were saying, "I remember that episode. I remember when he saw that, and I kept an eye." We also have a quick interview with Terrace, exclusive with IFTV, that we're going to pop in over here. We were very lucky to be able to ask him just a couple questions, and hopefully in the future, this is just a first test that we try to do before Christmas, is try to get different players, coaches, and even personalities online who we could add into the podcast to give a new dimension. So let us know who you want us to do next, and we'll pop in the interview now.
Pietro, l'anno scorso la Fiorentina ha avuto 9 vittorie in tutta la stagione, quest'anno la squadra ne ha già 10. Cosa è cambiato?
Ma sicuramente è cambiato tanto, intanto è cambiata la guida tecnica, sono arrivati anche alcuni giocatori, però è sicuramente un'annata positiva, quindi c'è un grande gruppo e quindi questo poi alla lunga fa la differenza.
Qual è lo stile di gioco che Italiano ha portato alla squadra? Qual è la sua filosofia calcistica?
Sicuramente è un calcio che a noi anche farlo da dentro diverte, perché comunque abbiamo sempre il possesso palla, andiamo subito alla riconquista, quindi è un calcio che è propositivo, che a noi piace e rende protagonisti tutti.
C'è stato qualcosa di specifico nella mentalità di Italiano che ti ha colpito?
No, devo dire la verità da subito, perché riesce intanto a coinvolgere tutti e a far sentire importante tutti, e poi c'è sempre quella sensazione di dover dare il massimo, di spingere, e sai che comunque l'opportunità ti arriva, tiene tutti sulla corda, e questo è fondamentale anche nella competizione fra di noi per metterlo in difficoltà.
Se dovessi concentrarti su una cosa, quale diresti che è il più grande punto di forza di questa squadra?
Sicuramente l'unione fra tutti noi che si vede anche in campo la domenica. Siamo una famiglia, stiamo crescendo e quindi ci piace stare insieme e ci piace anche giocare insieme, che è importante sia per noi che per la gente che viene a guardarci.
I was very impressed with Aaron, by the way, on Paramount Plus interview. Aaron.
Aaron, yeah.
Interviewing Ibra. I mean, I spent some time with the kid.
Did you see what he said about his legs?
Yeah.
He told me, he's like, "Oh, you told me you're a soccer player, but my knee is bigger than your whole leg."
So it's fun. It's that's what everybody should be looking forward to. So maybe we'll see if we can get Ibra ourselves, or maybe Cassano. That would be spectacular.
Would that be your dream?
Oh yeah.
Have you ever met him?
Not personally, never.
You never met him?
Never.
Wow.
I know where he lives. I know where he used to live. I know everything about him.
He has like, but
I know
every
where he
bakery.
lives. I know every bakery that he went in. I know every grocery store that he used.
Why
I
don't
know.
you just wait outside his house?
I can't. I mean,
would
it's
you
in
do if you
Genova
met
right
him?
Yeah,
now.
it doesn't-
I'll do anything. For me, that guy is my god. I mean, he was my god. No, it's not playing anymore. But there
Also,
is
just forget about the god.
listen, the guy, he was born around the corner where Santa is. It's like a gift coming from the sky, okay? Santa is buried in Bari, around the corner from Cassano's house. And the guy, he was a present that Santa brought inside our world to be able to enjoy. For all the controversies that he creates, and for all the beautiful stuff that he puts on the floor all the time. I mean, you might not like him for his personality, but that's what I like him about. I like the best about him is his personality.
If you met him and could say only one sentence to him or one question, what would it be?
One sentence. I said thank you for all the beautiful soccer and episodes of craziness that you have given to us.
Why is he so important to you? Is it because he's from Bari? He was like a symbol for Bari in the world?
It's sort of, because I remember, like you guys didn't buy into Vlahovic at the very beginning. I started to see Cassano playing all'Inter Garage. Antonio, if you're listening to me, you know what I'm talking about. You know, Shani Manico and all company over there. The Inter Garage it's a place, it's a little walled-in soccer field. It's like maybe 10-15 minutes by car from my house, and we used to go over there because this kid here at 13 or 14 years old, it was already the biggest talk.
Wow.
You cannot be a superstar and draw people to come to watch a 13 or 14 years old kid. So we used to go to the Inter Garage to watch Antonio Cassano playing nei pulcini nella primavera del Bari. So we used to go over there. Oh, it's Cassano. Touching the ball, Papa. You already know. You already know.
So he was destined for greatness. You guys
He
are
was.
right. It was just
It
a matter of time,
Yeah.
basically. Wow.
Yeah.
But why was it so
That's
important
awesome.
to you? Is it because he's one of you?
No,
He's
because
one of your own?
he proved that there was never was an hype about him. And the first time that he steps on the field, and then of course the spectacular goal that he scores on Inter, and the fashion the way he scored, and then his career taking off from there. And I mean, he admitted himself that if he didn't have if he had a little better attitude, I know it. Not I'm sure. I know it. This guy is one of the greatest. Totti said it. This guy here is one of the greatest midfielder that he played with. So I'm gonna have to take Totti's word for good because those are some of the 4 or 5 that we have in the history of the game in Italy. So we have Baggio, Totti, Del Piero, but those are the 3 that I trust. I will trust Totti's judgments about Cassano, and I have seen him play. So, so Antonio, you know what? I can just have a nice conversation in dialect with you, and
Say one thing in dialect to him. One message, in case he's watching.
What can I say? No, I'm becoming emotional because you're putting me on the
start
spot. What can I say? Antonio, ci facciamo fare una mangiata d'arezza dalla Lanz. You understand what I just said?
Okay, we'll leave it at that, I guess.
Speaking about Roma, Peter, if I asked you, Atalanta against Roma, how much would you have put on Atalanta winning this game?
Enough.
Enough to lose.
Would
lose your
anyone here have
savings.
bet that Roma was going to beat Atalanta 4-1?
No.
No,
shot.
no, not a
I'll
chance.
say a tie, yes. A tie, I will have given Roma a tie.
I think you're lying.
I sent a text message in our group saying I was saying it obviously as a joke. I said I will bet my life that Atalanta will win this match.
I like how you clarified.
Yeah, obviously. Some people take it
We can still
serious.
kill you if you want.
Hey, thanks for the reminder, Antonio.
I'll do the honors, right?
I think you have a lot of people on Twitter that would be happy for that. And also Bobo Vieri, too. It made me feel better when Bobo Vieri said it, too. He's like, I never would have expected this. Just because I saw the backlash. When I said it, everyone was like, oh, yeah, I would have thought about it. But what a performance from Roma, winning 4-1. Tammy Abraham with the brace, his first brace in Serie A, 6 Serie A goals. And this is, this is the beauty of the Serie A this year. Because for people who literally watch this league so much every week that they decided to create a podcast just to talk about the sport that we love the most and the country that we love the most. And we can't even predict what happens in the match because it's such a competitive league and it's such a toss-up this season that Roma can go 2 goals up early on to Atalanta. And what a performance. They saw it out. They got the job done. Huge momentum. And I loved that the big talk around Roma has been they can't beat the top teams, right? That's what we've been saying for a long time. Every single time my dad would sit here, grew up as a Roma fan, very mad. They never beat the top teams. They never beat the top teams. Mourinho after the match said, all right, it's beautiful. He goes, I can't wait for you guys to keep saying Roma haven't been a top team in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
What do we make of this?
First of all, this was, like Marco said, no one expected this, first of all. But Roma played so... This was like the Roma that we're expecting in the beginning. Tammy Abraham was going off. Zaniolo, who everyone criticized, looked like the player he's supposed to play like. That guy was doing incredible back heel passes, the runs he was making. Had 2-3 guys on him. It was so fun to watch. Of course, the early goal from Tammy Abraham set the mood, and Atalanta felt like they were on the back foot.
Third fastest in the Serie A this season.
Incredible. I think it was like 50-something seconds that he scored it. But Mourinho, your dad even brought it up in the live stream that we had it. He actually said draw, and he didn't think it was a win, but he said he saw what Mourinho said. He's like, we're going to Bergamo for the win. And your dad was so convinced with Mourinho said. I was like, really? That's what they're supposed to say. But your dad was like, no, I feel like he means it and he's going to do something. So he put a draw for that. Record? Yeah, he said it on the stream. That's why I was like, okay, whatever. I put Atalanta win. I don't know what you're talking about. But Roma looked great. But there was a point in the match where it was 2-1, and there was a goal taken away due to offsides that would have been 2-2. That was a huge key moment in the match, because I feel like if that did count, that very well could have went the other way, because how many times did Atalanta were on the back foot, and they ended up coming back, scoring 3-4 goals and winning it. But I want to give my credit to Roma. If they build upon this win and do something, I think the fans are going to have more patience with Mourinho, just because they showed such a nice spark of what kind of football they can play. And I was in love with how they played. Great attacking football. The 3-man back line looked pretty solid. And of course, Smalling back there, the leader, also gets a goal. So Mourinho, good job proving a lot of people wrong. They got to build from this, though.
Anto, how do you feel?
Well, I didn't watch the game because I was, getting sea bass from 200 foot of water on a fishing trip from out of Freeport, 5 hours each way, going and coming back. But I missed the game. I missed the crowd. I didn't miss much this guy here because he's a pain in the butt.
That's fair.
But I applaud Roma to do it in Bergamo too, because
impressive.
Beating Atalanta is one con, but beat it on their own home. It's double effort, and I think great game. I heard on the controversy that the goal was probably could have been convalidated from seen by other people. I'm not sure. I didn't look into it.
Palomino was technically in an offside position. We had Christina Uncle explain this. Maybe we could pop the audio in or something. I know we can't show the goal. She's a referee, and he was in an offside position. There was some misunderstanding. Did he really impact the play because he was behind the Roma player? Even if his arm is on him, technically he's impacting the game. Gasperini was very mad. You have any takeaways from Roma, or should we shift to Atalanta?
I mean, Roma, it's a team that I think is right where they're supposed to be, like I said before. So we cannot have this journalistic approach where you win, oh, it's high, oh, look at Mourinho. Then you lose, it's like, oh my God, Mourinho, Rome is burning. So it's going to be a long season. I think some of these results that we've seen throughout the year already is proving that this is a very balanced league, and there's going to be surprises here and there, and anyone can beat anyone on a good day. But if we saw the first goal that Roma scored, I mean, from 50 seconds on, you knew it was going to be Roma's day. The slide, the bounce off of this person, that person.
Worked
I don't
perfectly,
know how
right?
the hell Tammy Abraham was able to score that goal. Yeah. But listen, the idea is put the ball in the back of the net, and you win the game.
This has been my sentiment for a little while, is that everybody's just been way too negative about Roma and Mourinho. I mean, the guy's been there for 4 months. He's been there for 4 months. I look at an example even of a Sinisa Mihailovic, if you want to look for it. It's been 3 years, and now they had one of their best starts in Bologna's history. I know they lost this week, but prior to that, they had equaled their second best ever start. So you need to give coaches time. Roma, as you said, is exactly where I never would have had Roma any higher than they were coming into the season. Realistically, I know that there were the people that were emotional and excited and thought he's going to bring you right away into Champions League, which he still can because you're in that vicinity. So he said that he needs his players. Smalling is back. Smalling was brilliant. He was the Smalling of last year. You know, there is some validity to everything that he did say. You're building a project. The project is not 4 months. The project is not 1 year. The project is 2-3 years. Then you evaluate. You've already committed to this. See it through. And then from there, we could judge. Of course, we're fans. We're emotional. We live this game. We want to give our input. But also, we also have to think of, we have to keep a balanced mindset. For Atalanta on the other side, 2 out of the 3 fastest goals this Serie A have been conceded by Atalanta. And there are matches where we see this little blackout of them, of their team, even in Villarreal, the way that they started in that match. You know, and I guess when you see that, and maybe I'm being a hypocrite to what you just said about having a high and a low, does a team like that has these moments go on and win a Scudetto? I don't think so. I really do not think so. And I think that Inter would never do that. Inter would never have moments like that.
You have a point.
I'm sorry. And I know I last week, the week before, I said, you know, Atalanta can push for the Scudetto. And yes, I think they could get there. I think they could get close. But the margins and the details that are the difference between fighting for the Scudetto and being in the competition in May and winning it are slim.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's how I feel.
No, Marco, I agree. I agree with what you're saying. With Atalanta exiting the Champions League, I think a lot of what's being said about Atalanta is it the time now that they fully focus their energy and put their eggs on one basket on the Scudetto and try to compete for that. They got the experience now. They got the players. They got the players coming back from injury. And yeah, I don't think Inter would let something like this slide. And just Atalanta's record, their away record is so much better than their home record, which is ridiculous. At home, they have 8 wins and 1 draw. Away, opposite. Sorry. At home, they got 3 wins, 3 draws, and 3 losses. Away, they got 8 wins and 1 draw. So they're undefeated away, and at home, they're not cutting it. You gotta be more consistently better for those home games. And if they don't pick up the slack, there's still plenty of time. It's gonna be margins, and I'm not sure if they could do that. But there's still the Mercato going on, and there's still plenty of time. But it's tough.
You were fishing. I don't know if you saw Bologna Juventus.
Mm-mm.
Well, neither of us did either because the fog.
Mm-hmm.
What a hilarious! I saw a tweet that cracked me up.
What fog?
The fog.
The fog.
Fog.
The fog.
Mm-hmm.
What is this?
Nebbia.
Oh, the fog.
What do you think we
No,
said?
il falco in Italian, il falco.
The
it's
falcon?
a bird.
Yeah, because you did this, so I
I was like, what are you talking about?
I saw
That was the fog?
I saw a tweet. It was like that was Juve's best performance of the year because you couldn't see anything with the fog. Yeah. That was pretty good. Mike, I also just realized that we're supposed to show the video.
I was gonna cut you off on that.
No, I caught it. I caught it the second I went to the.
But
joke.
I was gonna say, Marco, Roma got this incredible win, and I feel like CBS couldn't find the perfect time to implement when Roma's clip was gonna go up.
They're playing chess, not checkers.
Exactly. Their hype video going on, and I know you guys like it so much. So we told the guys over there, like, keep them coming because they're loving the cinematic trailers and stuff like that. The only thing I don't like is I wish it was longer. But guys, I'm gonna plop it up over here. We'll see you guys back in a minute.
An eternal truth. All roads lead to Rome. 28 centuries of history, of empires and republics, of marble and magic, of idols and icons, the capital of the world. When in Rome, the gospel of the game is preached by the Giallorossi faithful, who worship their gladiators at the Stadio Olimpico, their very own Colosseum. From the banks of the Tiber, where the she-wolf nurtured their souls, you can hear their songs echo through the eternal city. For Roma is Rome, painted yellow like the sun, red like their hearts. They were born great, and great they will remain. Roma, 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 heart of the city.
Why we love Roma. Yeah, those are beautiful. I love those shots
The
that
stuff
they
is
do.
over? The video is over? Okay.
For anyone who knows of this
1
podcast,
minute.
is we popped the video in, but we haven't actually showed Antonio the video. We did
Okay.
send it in the group, so
Okay.
if you saw it, you'd remember.
I sent it.
Those are awesome. Shout out to them on the Why We Love series.
Link in the description.
It's been
I'll check
amazing.
it
Link
out.
in the description. We also have a thread of all of them. We hope more just keep coming in. I know everybody's waiting for their team
They're
to be covered.
addictive. They're addictive, man.
Brilliant. They're absolutely brilliant.
Did you actually get to talk to Bobo, yes or not?
Yeah. I asked him.
Okay, so why? I mean, can I use you as a bridge to see if Bobo can talk to Antonio Cassano? Maybe they can invite me on Bobo TV and things like that.
I can invite you on Bob.
Yeah, why not? What do you think? I'm not. What? Then you're gonna invite you? Oh. Okay, so maybe you can talk to Bobo. Said, can you just bring Antonio for a few minutes just to talk to him? A few minutes, yeah, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. I'll talk to Cassano and I'll talk to Bobo. Yeah, a few interesting questions.
So you want to
put on
use
the plate.
me?
Yeah.
To use Bobo?
Either you or
to get to
Matteo.
Cassano.
How does
You,
that sound,
Matteo,
Marco?
or Andre.
How do you
whatever.
feel after
So you
him
want to
saying
use
that?
me?
Yeah, I want to use you.
And
yeah.
Matteo.
Yeah.
And then use Bobo to get
Yeah.
to Cassano.
Well, Bobo is a big gun. Of course, it's a big gun. But if that's going to be Bobo, just at the bridge to Cassano, why not? I mean, Cassano was not there. I mean,
try
how am I
my
going to go
best.
through Cassano?
I'll try my best.
Okay, so good. Oh, see?
Get in there.
That would be a nice Christmas present for me. You know?
I'll keep it in mind.
Hey, Matteo, I'm
You've
I'm
been
nice-
bad this year, though. You've been
I've
a
been a
bad
bad boy, right?
You're going to get cold. You're going to get cold.
Matteo, I know those guys, they all hate us, Matteo. So I trust you're
Yo,
probably going to
I'll
do
give
better job than this guy
Yo,
here.
I'll give you a scenario. You beat me in foosball, I do it.
Oh!
But the last time we played, you ran out of this place.
Anto's gonna play with his soul that game. He's not losing that. That's for sure. He's gonna play possessed.
I'm going to make sure you never meet Cassano. Anyway.
Boy.
Matteo, if you're listening to this, you see what I'm dealing with? A bunch of haters. So I know somebody showed the picture, your picture of there when you were a little kid with the AC Milan shirts. Now I know you're an AC Milan fan. So there is no more secret out over there. So
I don't think it was a secret.
no. I mean, when he speaks, when he's a commentator of the game, you can really
That's
tell.
what you're supposed to do.
What do you mean? What
He's
he's
a
supposed to do?
You don't do it.
Anto. Wow.
It's fine.
True.
I respect that. New lease. New year, new me. The fog. Juventus and the fog. Boring game. Honestly, between Bologna and Juventus. We're honest. We say when the games are amazing. We say when the games are boring. This one was boring, but also expected because Bologna style and Juventus' style are extremely similar. It's not a beautiful football. They don't go to score a lot of goals. It's very counterattacking. Be tight, compact,
Scrappy game,
wait
yeah.
for your opportunity and then go. And we did see that. At points, even Bologna were taking more so the lead than Juventus. Started off with a brilliant pass actually from Bernardeschi to Morata, and Morata finished it off. Getting into a little bit of a groove. He's got 3 goals in his last 4 Serie A games for Alvaro Morata. Really nothing else. I think Juventus were losing a lot of balls in the back. And I was saying to myself, I've seen this story before. We saw it against Venezia when they're 1-0 up. They stay very content. They don't have that killer instinct to go for the second. You lose one pass, you make one mistake, somebody doesn't drop back, the other team can score a goal. This time, they did give away a lot of balls, but
Didn't get
Cuadrado
punished.
did a great job scoring the second goal. Huge deflection, but the
What
guy,
a fantastic player.
yo, he stands straight. You know exactly what he's gonna do. He's gonna cut right every single time.
But he still
it works.
beats you. But it's like
He's got these
man, yeah,
quick twitch fibers in his legs that are like ridiculous.
Good genes.
for sure.
Very good jeans, blue jeans over there. But yeah, besides that, nothing else to say for Juventus. That team is. What happened?
I was just gonna say, it reminded me of Antonio when he plays soccer.
Wait, who?
As a joke.
The defender that got beat?
Oh, maybe.
Oh, he was complimenting you
fog?
at first for the
The fog because he
Cuadrado.
disappears on the field.
You're not even close to what I was at your age. Okay? The speed that will burn you. Like you put a match on, that will do like that.
Just like
You
that,
wouldn't even
right?
know.
He wouldn't stand a chance, right, Anto?
Mihailovic.
Still right now, I don't think I can let him go that easily.
I agree with you. You're a tough player.
Mihailovic, before the match, also said that Juventus, you're our direct rivals. This is direct rivals, which he was right. I mean, considering the style of play, the way that they matched up together, and their position on the table, it's pretty true.
Mid-table, derby di
You
mid-table.
just caught that one? I'm just looking at you like
No,
you're crazy.
just saying
You
a
lo-
thing
you
of an
left.
Italian.
Mid-table's not Italian, though.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know it,
yeah,
that word. So.
Gotcha. Juventus have zero creativity, though, without Dybala and Chiesa. I think it's a real concern. There's also a story that's been coming out of Italy now with Mino Raiola, who's, he's cooking. He's cooking. This is what he does. He said that, Mino said that the Ligt could be looking to take that next step in his career. Premier League clubs, Real Madrid, Barcelona, PSG. Looking at the table for a kid like De Ligt, he has a 150 million release clause. Don't know if Juventus in this market would get that. How do we feel?
Listen, to be honest with you, this is the new trend of soccer. It's devoid. It's just it's no longer about the game. It's about the value of the players. It's about the money. It's the plus and the minus. It's like the revenues. It's like the quotation on the market. It's like how much you can spend and all of this financial fair play. It's more business than the sports itself. And ask your father, growing up with the radio, with all of this social media that we have right now, before we used to just enjoy soccer with just listening to the radios. 90º minuto, you never got to see or hear. You were not born. Even when you were born, it was gone already. The radio was the best tool that was available to everybody. 2 o'clock in the afternoon, tutto il calcio minuto per minuto. That was it. It was Enrico Ameri, Sandro Ciotti, Alfredo Provenzali. Those are all people that they died. Those were the best telecronisti. You were just glued to that radio. Put the volume higher, Hey, what happened with the stage? Get it off, just get it. Everybody was there on the radio.
Glued, right?
Nobody would have moved. I mean, not in front of the TV, because there was no live games, nothing. There was no Sky, there was no Paramount Plus, there was nothing. No DAZN, zero. That radio and the way those people, they were, they were talking about the game, or they were commentating about the game, or giving you the stuff was better that you were watching on a 3D or 4D or 5D television. The way they used to just say the play-by-play, like Matteo does from time to time over there on Paramount Plus, it was unbelievable. And if you guys can just go into the archives and pull some of those things up, you're gonna see what you missed. I think I will highly recommend that both of you look into the archive of Tutto il Calcio Minuto per Minuto. Just get some of those tapes and you're going to get to see it. What the passion that those 5 or 6 guys, because there were 4 or 5, they gave the major stadium. They gave Milano, Torino, Roma, Genova, whatever, all the derbies and all the stuff. There was 1 or 2 lives, and then everybody popped in. You hear the noise from another field to say, oh my God, something happened. And then you say, scusa Mary, that was maybe Sandro Ciotti watching AC Milan against Inter Milan. Il Milan ha raddoppiato, meaning 2-0. And then, big time. And then when you just watch it or listening to that, you're going to see it. Maybe this is what the new soccer, we're going to just brush back or just dust off some of that stuff, and you're going to see it. I'm positive that if we do that, we're going to just take off.
So, Peter, what do you think about the Ligt?
The Ligt, forget about the Ligt. It's not even worth talking about. It's not a great player anyway.
If you were the Ligt, would you leave Juventus?
Guys, I like that. You see that how important the Ligt was? The Ligt is not even a factor. The Ligt is a nobody as far as I'm concerned.
Peter?
If I'm the Ligt, will I leave Juventus?
Of course. What's the?
No, I agree with Antonio in a sense that he's going to be the top defender anywhere that he goes. Barcelona desperately needs defenders.
He's not going.
He's not going to go there.
Real Madrid needs defenders.
He's not a top defender anyway.
PSG could use him. Premier League, he is a top defender. Come on.
Then nobody's going to pay $150 million to get the stuff.
They'll figure it out. But yeah, if I'm talking the league, then if I was Juventus, I'm doing everything in my power to keep the league, because Bonucci and Chiellini are not getting any younger, and you need somebody to build this team around, and you need that skeleton. And he would be he's already a leader on that team, and that's why, when I see Chiellini, Bonucci starting, I tell Allegri, you better shape up, because this guy is not going to be happy sitting on the bench. He deserves to play. He needs to play now. And I think that's what Mino's saying. And he said in the past where he left threats practically to Juventus saying, "Hey, if we don't see any changes, he's out." And now it's just putting it into the market and stirring, like Marco said, mixing the pot.
Cooking.
It's like you said, unfortunately, is the inevitable part of the game that we live in right now, where it is a business and there's going to be numbers being thrown out. And there's a lot of things and outlets that you can use to order to influence something in a certain way.
I totally agree with you in the sense that for De Ligt, he has to be playing. Yeah. He's the guy that should play every single match that he's healthy. He should be playing, and then it's Chiellini or Bonucci. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Guys, if you ever seen
from De Ligt's perspective, I can't even blame him if he wanted to leave, considering where Juventus are right now. I mean, the kid wants the challenge. Number one, he needs to be playing in Champions League, and if Juventus don't get into Champions League, come on. That's tough. Then he also wants a challenge in Champions League. He wants a team around him that's not rebuilding. Now, you could give the example. You could say Del Piero, Trezeguet, Camoranesi, they stayed with Juventus when they were bad. Yeah. But you can't expect all these players, especially in this generation of players, to be like that. And I don't expect it. I don't put it on them.
It's unrealistic.
If somebody does it and they prove it, yes. But until I'm proven wrong, I would never believe it. And from Juventus's perspective, I would not sell this guy for 1 penny less than 150 million euros.
Oh, God.
But you have no reason to sell. I would never sell for anything less. That's his clause. The reason I say that's his clause. I see the report 70 million. You do not sell what is going to be, and for me still is the best young defender in the world, for less.
No, Marco, first of all, I just want to say I agree with Marco 100%. I think De Ligt right now and for the future is the best Juventus player. He's going to be there for almost the next 2 decades if he decides to stay. If I was Agnelli, I'd make sure to get a few reinforcements in January to make sure Juve do whatever they can to make top 4.
There's no money to get reinforcement. It's going to be very little reinforcement.
But it doesn't help that Raiola's the agent, because he likes to pester away and talk a lot of gossip here and there, and it looks a little too much for his client. That could be a little destructive for Juventus. But De Ligt, you could see he was 21 years old. This guy's world class already, and it's gonna be hard from his point of view. If I see him in my shoes, and if I see Juve now competing as a top club and stuff, that can be very, very dangerous. So the first thing I would do as Juve, make sure you make Champions League. I think that's the first step, because if they don't, that's when there's a lot of questions being asked. And for the future for Juventus in terms of the youngsters, they're going to be like, why should I go to Juventus, I haven't made Champions League, when I can go to an Inter, to a Milan, to a Napoli? So that can really cause, it could be a domino effect if not making Champions League and continue
Don't
for
forget
that
how
success.
Juventus got Juve's relationship with Mino Raiola is incredibly strong. He was the agent to Nedved, who was the vice president of the club. Mm-hmm. So that's the one thing that's different. It's not, Milan doesn't have a good relationship with Mino Raiola. It's extremely different. No,
guys, let me
just
say
they don't want to work with him.
Guys,
I'm just saying that, like, Nedved and Raiola were out to dinner last week.
Yeah.
Guys,
together,
let me just say something about. I think you guys have some sort of a talking point about this De Ligt. You're in love with this De Ligt. Let me just say something about this guy here. You spend a lot of money, because he came with a lot of promises, because he showcased himself in those 4 or 5 games during the championship, Ajax. I gotta tell you something. If I name you the Juventus starting lineup, the first 4 or 5 defenders, Zoff, Gentile, Cabrini, Furino, Morini, Scirea. On those 5 or 6 names, take away Zoff, that was the goalkeeper, you have at least three of the best defender. That this guy here is not even dreaming to become one of them. He's not a Nesta.
What does that have to do with
He has to do it.
Who's better than him?
He has to do it.
Who's better than him on the market that's 23 years old or younger?
Oh, there's a plenty.
Who? No. Name one. Name one defender that's better than him. 23 years old or younger. You can't.
Maybe you can argue Bastoni, but other than that, no.
But Bastoni.
I think Bastoni's a better defender.
No, I
Then
won't say better. Same level. maybe similar
Hakimi. I
level.
mean, Hakimi is not a center defender, but he's a wing.
He's a wing back.
Wait. This guy here, it's overvalued.
But you can't name one person.
Yeah,
It
Anto,
doesn't matter. I'm just making you. I'll tell you. I'm making you the names of people that they made it the history of the soccer.
Yeah, but
and that
that's because they had a career.
Listen,
A full career to do it.
Maldini,
The guy's 22
Nesta,
years old.
Colovati, you name it. I mean, Costa Curta. Those were the center defender, and they were not put it on the market by Mino Raiola or anybody. They played for the
different
love of the
situation.
show
Yeah,
of the shirts. What do you mean it's a different
You're bringing
situation?
up a whole new thing, Anto.
Skilled wise,
Different
if you
generation,
look at this
different
guy,
years.
skilled wise, it's nothing. I don't see anything of this guy coming out of the box. It doesn't have not even great feet. He's okay. He's a good defender. Nothing great, nothing to be putting, losing sleep like this guy over here.
I haven't slept in 2 weeks.
Well, you lose your sleep at the idea that this guy might be signing with somebody else because Raiola is stirring something at the bottom over there. Listen, you will be so happy if the guy leaves from Juventus, let him go and play in the Champions League or somewhere else, and you take the money and you buy something and you invest on something young that is going to be,
He's
He's
23 years
22.
old.
He's 22.
let him go.
Yeah, but you still haven't named a
Like
viable
the same
option.
thing I'm telling you, the AC Milan squad, let Kessié go.
20 years old, Champions League final.
Let him
for
go.
Ajax. This
Let
guy's the
him
future.
go.
Champions League final as a
play
captain.
the Champions
Yes, he
League
did
final.
with Spurs. That wasn't a final.
Mino Raiola is the
No, that was
ruin of
semifinal.
soccer.
semis? Oh,
Mino
crap.
Raiola shouldn't be dealing with anybody anymore.
Did Spurs or Ajax win the Champions League? So they couldn't have been in the final together.
Who won the final?
It was Spurs Man City,
Yeah.
right?
I thought Spurs won.
Somebody giving you $50 million
Spurs didn't
or
win.
$60 million.
It was
Listen,
another English team. No, Chelsea.
Sure.
let me put it this way.
I know
to you.
Ajax wasn't in the
Semifinal.
final. So they were like a
No.
second away, and
Let-
then Lucas Moura won it.
Yeah.
They don't want me to talk. This is the problem.
All right,
See, they
Anto,
don't want me to.
we're
No.
gonna move on.
I
Let's
know
move
you're
on.
gonna. No, you're not moving on until I'm telling you.
Go.
You are putting now this Ligt on the same conversation of Vlahovic. If I gotta spend $70 million or $80 million, I will spend in someone that produce for the team. In this particular case, Vlahovic for me is a better investment than Ligt.
different
I will let
positions, two
him
different
go.
players.
Seriously?
Let him go. Giving you somebody $50 million. Oh my God. Let him go.
You've paid more than 50
It
million
doesn't
to
matter.
get him. What do you mean?
He's not going to do any better than that.
Oh,
He's not going to be doing any better than that. Let him go.
All right.
I'm done.
That's been the AC Milan strategy of the past couple
Oh
summers. Just
my-
let them go for
No,
nothing.
for free though.
Yeah.
Not for
Let him
50
go.
million.
You're right.
Let him go.
Hakan,
I'm
Donnarumma.
just saying the same thing. I'm saying the same thing
Listen,
about the other guy. What's his name? Kessié. Let him go.
All right, and then we'll see where he goes next year.
If you guys are listening to me, Maldini or whatever, or Katsidis, let him go, or just sell him for scraps over here, like scrap metal for the winter for this December. Let him go. That's it.
Okay. Well, let's talk about Milan Napoli as our final game.
Oh, perfect.
Of the has lots of controversy, lots of drama, big moments as Napoli did win 1-0. Before we do get into it, we have I walked in on Michael doing something. This guy's weird. I don't know what he was doing. Peter's confused because he has not seen this video. This was totally not staged at all. I had no idea that Michael was sitting there with all these screens to promote Paramount Plus. But here's that video.
All right, getting ready for the podcast. Oh, Mike, you here already? What are you doing?
I got my nice Paramount setup right here.
What is this?
Watching some calcio games.
You got enough screens?
And Marco, not just calcio. Paramount does more than that. Live TV shows, movies. We got Clifford the Big Red Dog. I never seen it. I want to put it on because
Are you kidding
I
me?
can.
No.
And you know what's the best part
I
of this,
support
Marco?
Paramount, but not that.
The price is so good. It's cheaper than the hipster coffee shop down the block. So one of those caramel macchiatos.
This.
You can get like a few months subscription on Paramount Plus. So guys, the holiday season is coming up. So if you want to get something that your family actually liked, check the link in the description. Check it out. You get a 7-day free trial using our link. And let's
It's
go back.
1 month free trial.
1 month now?
Yeah, it's
Marco,
1 month.
I'm dancing already.
So if that's
You're gonna
not enough,
ruin your
I don't know
eyesight,
what's
though.
enough. Yeah, I know. At least I'll be happy if I lose it
All
regardless.
right,
So,
fair enough.
guys, click the link in the description, check it out, and let's go back to the podcast.
I mean, Marco, I think most people do it in the spare time. Marco's basically saying, I was watching 5 different games from Paramount.
No, you were also watching Clifford the Big Red Dog.
I was watching Clifford because I can watch movies, a live TV show, news on Paramount. So I use all the resources as I can. And it's such a cheap price. Why not do that,
That
right?
seemed like an advertisement, if you're asking me.
I don't know. I do that on my spare time, even at home, to
With
be
the
honest.
hat on too, with the beanie?
If it's cold, yeah, I do.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Milan. Antonio has not seen the videos. You haven't either. Zero idea what we're talking about. Let's talk about Milan Napoli.
Oh my Anto, they're messing with you.
It's okay.
Yo, guys,
Anto.
I
It's
have
not
to
working.
say, guys,
I guess it's not working because
Then why are you turning red?
it's all right.
I watched the video right after I finished at CBS. I watched the video of you guys reacting to that last
With
minute.
Ludo, right?
Ludovico falling out of this chair, and then his little hand coming up
Ways to go.
to grab me. Your laugh. That was
fine.
one of the
that
best.
was hilarious.
I think that was the best video of 2021 from us. The
Arguably-
Euro ones were
arguably.
pretty
There
good.
was a-
That was the funniest video that we've ever had.
Well, no, for sure.
I don't even know where to begin.
Hey, go ahead. I'm waiting for you. So you want me to start?
Yeah, why don't
Okay,
you start?
the last 3 minutes of the game, obviously, they were the biggest disgrace in terms of anybody that is being given a black shirt and a whistle to be going through what they did and what they put through, the soccer fan. This could have been you, or could have been Inter, or could have been Roma, could have been anybody. You got to tell me that you are evaluating that somebody's on offside when it's at the bottom of another player. He doesn't touch the ball, cannot even move. So for them to go to the VAR, because he was called by the VAR, the guy was, and then he was not even convinced, and then he looks at the VAR, and then he comes back into the field and says that that's an offside. That's a disgrace, number one. Number two, what is going to be the next step? He's going to get a stethoscope to find out if the guy has a pulse, to find out if it's on active, if it's
funny.
active, if the position is active or passive.
That's
That
funny.
is a total disgrace. That is a total disgrace to
So you
find
don't
out
think it
if
was a
somebody
goal?
has a pulse, if somebody has a pulse, or somebody's still breathing, then it's active, and if somebody's dead, dead, that's passive.
That's funny.
Okay.
Crazy.
Now, having said that, with all due respect, like Peter says all the time, I think this guy here should be benched for the rest of the campionato, the ref. Okay? Number one. Number two, I wanted this whole thing with the VAR to totally change. Have a freaking mic on your freaking wrist like everybody does on the football game and explain in front of everybody, the 80,000 people in San Siro, say why you disallowed the goal. Okay? Then you're not going to get a chance to walk away alive from San Siro. Okay? I'm telling you, this is really disgraceful. This is the way they're ruining this game. You got VAR to get the things, to eliminate those uncertainty. And then you're telling me, is there a book rule that says that this guy here was in fuorigioco passivo attivo? Is there a book, a rule?
There
What is the
actually
rule?
is.
Where is it?
I mean, you could read the
No,
rule book.
you can read it. You're telling me which one is that? There is no such a thing. There is no such a thing.
Listen, Anto, I understand you're emotional, but it was the correct call.
That was not. It was not a correct
If
call.
you read the rule book, it's the correct call. We had a professional referee explain it to us yesterday.
Yeah, professional referee. Like the guy that was a ref in the AC Milan game, that was a professional referee
Yeah,
too.
they were both
Listen,
professional referees.
listen.
I understand you're emotional.
There are plenty of other referees that they disagree completely with the professional referees that you are putting on the table right now.
I haven't heard a professional referee disagree with the decision. Now, okay, let's explain the situation, right? So there's a situation where first of all, we didn't know what the call was.
Yeah.
They were saying handball. They were saying foul.
Offside,
The official call was in offsides, right? So that's what we're going to judge. They were saying Giroud, he went up for this header. He falls. Juan Jesus is on top of him. He's in an offsides position because he's laying on the ground. He does not touch the ball. Juan Jesus kicks the ball out. Milan score. They check back. They say Giroud is affecting the game, even if he didn't go and touch the ball, because of him attempting to touch it and hindering Juan Jesus in clearing the ball properly. That is what the call was. Now listen, Anto, The rules, technically, yes, it is. Now, I was going to agree with you in the sense that for me, the rule, I'm not disagreeing that it should not have been called. For me, what is Giroud doing to really affect it? Do I see him really hold? I know people have said he's hitting the guy. He doesn't really touch the ball. He's underneath Juan Jesus. Juan Jesus, I don't think would have done anything different if Giroud wasn't there. If we're talking about offsides, not a foul. Mm-hmm. If we're talking about that, I don't think he really impacted the game. But I do understand that technically, with the rule, it is offsides. Do I agree with it? No. That's my stance. I'm not going as far as you are. Technically, by the rules, the referee did the correct thing. Peter?
Oh, yeah. Listen, I think by the rules and by the interpretation of the referee, Giroud is actively trying to get the ball. He's lifting up his leg the exact same time that the ball is coming. So he's trying to anticipate Juan Jesus. Yes, you see it.
I wish they're going to call it on Inter Milan 20 of those.
I'm saying,
and I'd like to see what you're going to do, what you're going to say.
It's a harsh goal, and especially a game-tying goal at the end. You know, it's better to have a 1 point than to lose that game. But, you know, the referee saw it in a certain way, and his interpretation was that Giroud being on the offside position, trying to play the ball, causes Juan Jesus to make that clearance in that style. We see it all the time. How many times?
All the time? When? Name me one time.
Not when the player's laying down like that.
Oh.
But when a player is offside, let's say, that walks in front of the goalkeeper.
Yeah, blocks his vision.
Right? Blocks his vision.
Yeah.
He could be passive. He doesn't even know what the hell's going on.
Offside.
That's a little
That was not the case. That was not the case.
But that's an offside call.
Or if, for example, a player is offside and the defender, in order to save, right, he makes that play.
Like Atalanta.
Right?
Explain to me, please, in English or in dialect or even explain to me in any other. Have you seen another situation like that before? Yes or not? One word.
It's very rare to see it.
Say so then yes
there's
or
no
not.
Precedent then.
Hello.
There's no precedent.
That's
then.
why.
So the referee can call it.
That's why.
So he can call it.
That's why this should never have been called, because è un fuorigioco passivo. Capisci? Somebody that is 90% on the floor, flat, horizontal.
Can someone score like that?
Wait.
Can someone score in that position?
Don't BS me.
Can someone score in that position?
Somebody is horizontal on the floor with his hands and with his legs, and somebody is on top of him. How the hell are you going to call this an active offside? How? Never happened in the history of soccer. Never. Never. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. This is not a laughable joke. It has never happened. I think this guy here should be reviewed. There should be a disgrace. This is just never should be called something like that.
Let's talk about we already explained that the call was technically correct. Antonio does not agree. I maybe disagree with the rule, but I do understand that it was a correct call. Let's talk about the game for a minute, because we criticize a lot talking about drama, but how about we talk about the actual match that was at display? The first goal, I think, really changed the match for Napoli. Elmas scoring within 5 minutes changed the game plan, changed the style. These were, I will say, it was not a beautiful match, and I think it was hindered by the amount of injuries that both sides had. We did not see the best of, these were the two teams that went undefeated for the longest time in the beginning of the season. Their first 11, 12 matches were brilliant. You did not get to see that beautiful display, I thought, from both sides. I think Napoli did control most of the match. I think that Napoli looked like the home side. Not that they played unbelievable, but more than AC Milan did. And I think that Napoli did deserve to win in the end. I will say that they were hindered by injuries, and if Petagna could score with his feet, then it would have been 2-0. Milan disappointed me in the attack. I thought there was too much lack of quality between Krunic, Brahim Diaz, Messias, and then Ibra. If he's not serviced, it's not like he could create anything else. So you lost those four players on top, besides the header that Ibra had in the beginning. Not much else. That is not enough for a Milan that wants to go on and win the Scudetto at home against Napoli. I think you were really hurt by your injuries, and you didn't do enough with the players that you had.
I disagree. I got to tell you something. First of all, AC Milan played the game. I don't think Napoli really deserved to win, because
what are you saying?
AC Milan deserved the game. I mean, didn't deserve to win because he was obviously not the best game that they played. But the tie was the least that they should have done. They had a lot more chances, although you might disagree with that. First of all, even Petagna didn't even get to take the shot because Tomori was quick enough just to take the ball away. It's not that he took a shot and then
Tomori
the
was
shot.
great.
Okay, so Tomori took the ball away from him. So it's more Petagna's fault than Tomori. Tomori I think deserves the credit for taking the ball away from him.
I think your defense as a whole was your better part.
Listen,
Tomori
they
was
scored
great.
in the first 4 or 5 minutes, and then the game just did flow on their way. But as far as Napoli just dominating the game, I didn't see that. Okay, it didn't happen. I don't know what kind of a game
They
you
were
were watching.
more control of the game, I should
Well,
say.
they were a little bit slightly more.
Sorry, not dominant. They were more in control of the match.
You know why? Because they were just waiting for all AC Milan on their midfield, and then they were doing some counter here and there. Other than that, they didn't.
But Milan were at home. You would expect them to control the match.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, we didn't break through, and the only chance that we had that the ball went in was disallowed. But aside from that, Ibra had 2-3 shots. Okay, he had the header, he had the shot from the left hand side that what's his name? Ospina made a big save, and then Messias had a nice, beautiful left shot that just slightly went off. Yeah, it was a great shot, and then Florenzi had another big shot over there that it went very close to the post. Hey, it is what it is. We had a bad day, and the biggest disappointment, to be honest with you, was Kessie for me. The biggest disappointment. It was like a walking zombie into the field. Krunic, I mean, I don't expect much from him, but Kessie is supposed to be the engine of AC Milan. His body language and his attitude is not what I'm used to see it. And I think this guy here, I think should be shown the door, or maybe should be put on the market. Me personally, being an AC Milan fan, I'm saying on the podcast right now, and I'm sure maybe somebody's going to be hearing this. If you don't want to play on AC Milan because you are getting a lot offered from all over the places, just put it on the table. Maybe somebody, the management is going to say, hey, listen, you don't want to be here. We can afford your price. Just go. Put him on the market right now. I want to be sold in December. So then you give it a chance to another player. Benacer, if he was on the game, he would have done a much better job because Benacer is not on the market. He renewed his contract and all the stuff. The fact that Pioli is saving him a little bit is because he's probably doesn't have the 90 minutes on his legs. But I want to see more Benacer playing than Kessie. So Kessie, I would just let him go. Okay, I just put it on I will just pack it. I will make a present look like a package. I said I put him in, and I will ship him out.
Michael,
Anto,
what was your takeaway from the entire match?
Anto, I think first of all you're blinded for your love of AC Milan because Napoli did not step up. I don't think they stepped up. I think Milan played the better game. If they had a decent striker, because Petagna, that guy, I don't know what he's doing there. He's not Napoli quality. If Mertens started, I think they would have won 2-0. You could say that Tomori tackled, whatever, but it was Petagna who didn't know how to control the ball with a horrible touch, which gave Tomori the end to look like a nice tackle, but it was on him. And Milan was playing at home. This was their chance to go closer. Inter, which they knew the pressure was on, playing at a packed-out San Siro with Bobo Vieri on the sidelines, thanks to Paramount Plus. And they didn't show like they belonged in the top. It was uninspiring football from them. And Milan, who traveled, looked like they were playing at home. And that says a lot. I don't know. It says a lot about Milan and Pioli. A lot of question marks. And you can't just say the injuries, because Napoli had a bunch of injuries too. And they were much hungrier than Milan over there. Yeah, I understand the goal, it was harsh and all that stuff. But I think Milan did not deserve to get a point out of that match. I got to say.
I think you're a little harsh.
I don't think so. They were playing at home. They knew what they had to do, and they didn't step up to the plate. And I was like, and I expected more from them.
I mean, I wouldn't say either side. I mean, Napoli were not brilliant either. It wasn't a great game from either one. The one thing I'll say, comment about Petagna, because I was just thinking about that. The reason why he played Petagna is because he wanted a big number 9 to hold the center backs, center defenders further back. So it was strategic. Spalletti's not stupid. He knows who Petagna is. When he's played Mertens, Mertens, if you check the stats, we had talked about this before. He never, when Osimhen was there, he never subbed out Osimhen. He went in for Zielinski. He went in for a different type of player. So it's a different style of match. He needs a guy that holds it up. That's why Petagna was playing. So to say that if Mertens was playing, they would have done this, I don't agree with that. I think that Petagna, I'm the last person that will stick up for Petagna. But with Spalletti's style, he needs that big guy to help open the space for the players like Lozano, Zielinski, or others to move in and around. Peter, you haven't said anything about this match as a whole.
Yeah,
Antonio has thought Milan has done way better. We've kind of been more so on the Napoli side. Where did you sit?
I mean, if you want to pick which team was better, slightly Napoli, but the only reason why is because they won the game. Because to be quite honest, I thought they, like Antonio said, they were in a position where they can sit back and time what they had to do. I think in the midfield, they were a lot better. They were better than Milan. And Milan were forced to have to go more direct. They were trying to get more of a long ball to Ibrahimovic, which doesn't change anything. But if you look at the stats even, both teams took only 2 shots on target.
Yeah,
and that's very poor for 90 minutes of two of these top teams, such as Napoli and Milan. But I have to say I give a little bit more slack to Napoli, given the fact that they were already winning 1-0. And I expected more from Milan to be able to tie this game. You should not be waiting till the 90th minute. There should be shots and more pressure going forward. Both teams were hindered by lack of their star players. And we saw a very mediocre game, I think, from what we expected. I think Spalletti did a very good job with his decision making, keeping even Petagna. I mean, obviously the quality of Mertens, I think even a blind man would see that, and just wasn't enough from Milan. I think if we look at it, just wasn't enough to say, hey, we're in for the Scudetto race. And we have many games left, so Milan, Napoli, they're right in it, because Inter could slip up one game and now all of a sudden it's a 1 point and and the world ends, as the journalists in Italy make it seem.
I think the world will begin already.
Listen, I mean, I question a lot of Pioli starting lineup because I mean, the only one that I agreed with was Messias and Ibrahim over there on the middle, but this Krunic does not belong over there to me. I mean,
he's not quality.
Yeah. It's not quality. You cannot really sub Leao for or Leao or Rebic, and you put Krunic over there.
Leao was not fully fit.
I know, but what I'm saying, there is just put Salesmaker, put. We have a lot of other options over there. Castillejo, but Krunic is
not good
enough.
But
even Brahim, I mean, he got bullied off everybody. I love Brahim. I was getting made fun of the entire day by Mike Grella because I talked big about Brahim, and he did get bodied off. And we should say the one name that we have not mentioned the whole podcast that probably should have been the first thing that came out of the match, Rachmani for Napoli was brilliant.
And Juan
Lozano played a spectacular game for Napoli.
The two center backs were really strong for Napoli, and that's probably the biggest thing that I would never have expected. I would not have thought that they could do such a good match. Also, credit to Milan. I mean,
we lost the game in the midfield.
Tomori did a brilliant job in defense. Romagnoli, I think he looked good because he was marking Petagna, to be honest with you. And
Petagna could mark himself, bro.
Even he could catch up.
Exactly.
But those were probably the best players of the game for them. Difficult match. I agree with what Bobo Vieri said after the match as well, that this is not decisive for the Scudetto. No. I don't think it was before. I don't think it was after. I'm happy that it was not a tie because I didn't want to see a tie from either of these sides. Doesn't really do. I don't like to just be content with 1 point either side. And I think Milan, they did this 2 matches in a row. The match against Udinese, and now the last 5 minutes, they turn it on and they're like, oh, wow, all right, we need to go for it. Where I wish that understanding was there earlier on in the match because I think it could have been even more beautiful than it was.
No, I think I'm sorry, Mike. What I'm saying is what I'm very disappointed on seeing on the game of AC Milan lately is those long balls. I mean, AC Milan is not the team that is going to just try to bypass the midfield with those long balls. And I've been seeing the last 2-3 games, even with Atletico and with I don't want to see those long balls. Even though we have 2 towers over there, with at the same time we were having Ibrahimovic and Giroud on the middle. The long ball is not the solution to win games. You have to just put the speed on the wings and just come and cross to the ball for those 2 big guys to in order to be able to hope for something to happen on our side. But again, it's a very bad stretch we've been going through. I hope it does the new year it just brings up a new freshness to the team and to the maneuver that AC Milan has. And I think it's an hiccup that we're going to get over with. We're not in any crisis the way everybody's suggesting. So
who's suggesting
just
You
No, I've been
suggested
reading.
crisis?
I've been reading the news, and this guy here too.
Not
this guy
suggesting
here.
it's a crisis, but there's a
Yeah.
stat. I want to say it for you
Yeah.
quickly.
Why do you listen to him then?
No, I didn't
Don't
say
let him
anything.
egg
I
you
didn't
on,
say anything
Anto.
to him. But I do
You
want to
be
say.
you believe who you are.
No, you know the thing is that they're breathing on my neck. Well, I'm watching the game between him and this guy here. Breathing
on your neck.
Anto's very quiet that
Why don't
stream.
you come watch the
Anto
game with
was
me?
very strong.
Come watch the game with me.
I'll go.
Anto,
I'll
wanna
go.
come?
Yeah.
So I want to
we're
say
happy over there.
the stat was the past 7 Serie A games. Milan only managed to win 2 of them.
There it goes again.
No, I just want because there was a lot of back and forth on this. Does this trouble you at all, or you think it's just a hiccup? And once the team is 100%, they can go back to the winning ways, or is it more than a slump?
It's
just
not
a hiccup.
It's a hiccup. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a slump.
You see how he does a backhanded question to
It's
you?
okay.
not bad.
It's
I
all
was just-
right.
I was
Yeah,
just
that's what they call
asking.
him, Mike the Instigator.
No one
You
calls
know,
me
that's
that.
what they call him,
No
the
one calls me
Instigator.
that. I just
But
putting
you know,
a
you're
fact
gonna have
on
to
the
try a
table.
little harder before you can get to me. So it's not a.
Guys, before we
I'll try
conclude
next time.
Before we conclude, really,
I'll try harder next time.
before we conclude the podcast, we'd have to talk about Lazio for a second. Lazio, they did win 3-1 against Genoa. Luis Alberto, 2 assists. He was on the bench, actually, and then he got 2 assists. Genoa are just terrible. We knew that this was a disaster to bring
they
Shevchenko
can't
in
score.
at that time. Also, how stupid do you have to be? I'm just, like, very bluntly. Who is fighting for relegation and brings in Shevchenko? I love Shevchenko, but this was not the project to bring him in. A team that's fighting for relegation, every single Serie A team, what do? They get a guy that's extremely experienced, who's been there before, who's really good at saving teams from relegation. You don't bring in Shevchenko. It's not fair to him. It's not fair for where the team is. Look at like Andrea Azzoli, who understands Serie A. They got him at Empoli. A coach like that was made for there, and Genoa is very disappointing. The one thing I'll say about Lazio is what's going on with Sarri. And I just want to conclude it, guys, real quick with this. It feels like there's tension already with Sarri in Lazio. Both from, I've spoken to some of their fans. You know, the general, I think, they're optimistic. But you're hearing these. We knew in the past that sometimes he breaks locker rooms, right? He doesn't always get along well with players. Players don't love to play for Maurizio Sarri. Yes, you'll get some, but at the moment, there's talks of Luis Alberto, who doesn't want to play with Sarri. And now, the latest is Milinkovic-Savic. That Milinkovic-Savic could leave Lazio because him and Sarri are not agreeing.
Yeah.
What do we make of this?
He created this kind of feud between him and Luis Alberto cannot be on the same team at the very beginning of the season. Actually, maybe toward to the middle of the first half, and those guys have been playing together for 4 or 5 years before even Sarri got over there. All of a sudden, Sarri comes in. Like I agree with you 100% with you. This guy, everybody's giving him too much credit for what he has done at Napoli the first seasons. For some reasons, I think he got to his head because, I know he won with Chelsea, he won with Juventus, but to me, it doesn't have the quality. Doesn't have the quality and the style that he can buy. A player, a professional can buy into his philosophy because his attitude, his pen, his writing, and his little cigar butts and all the stuff. It's not cutting it for me.
That has nothing to do
It's
with
not
anything.
cutting it for me. I don't think the players they buy it. Nobody.
Because he writes
The
notes.
facade.
Listen.
Well, that could be true. I mean,
His
I don't think him
His
writing
act,
down
right?
notes and smoking a cigar have anything to do
It
with
does, because a lot of people, they're looking at that stuff too, because they look, body language is very important. Psychologically, somebody can be affected by somebody, even the way somebody looks at you. Okay?
But why is writing notes bad?
I don't know what the hell is he writing to begin with. Maybe just writes, the game just started. 45 minutes, I need to take a soda. Or I don't know what the hell does he write. Listen, you don't need to write anything. If you really wanted to watch the game.
The point is that he's had issues in the past with locker rooms. Obviously, he keeps a short roster in a sense where he only plays these 15 players.
Doesn't rotate.
He's coming into a Lazio team that has had recent success, if you want to put it, compared to what they're expected to do. So now you come here and you want to revolutionize everything and do your way. You're always going to hit a little bit of a brick wall, I think. The interesting thing is now Lazio, as far as the ownership and the team, it's about picking who you go with. Do you go with Sarri or do you go with the players? And you also don't want to short sell any of these players, because if they're not happy and people know they're not happy, no one's going to pay the prime dollar. I think Sarri renewed.
Yeah.
No.
He actually or extended.
Lotito said it's gonna happen. He said full
For 2
confidence
years.
towards him in 2 years for the Christmas dinner.
That's
so
wild.
So they do put his faith in it, but I just find it crazy how with Sarri I feel like you would think this would be the perfect team. You would think, the midfield of dreams. We talk about Lazio's midfield, the best in Serie A. Sarri feeds off the midfield. That's how he wins. That's how he plays his beautiful football. And then he comes here. So I'm not a good relationship. Not doing this. And they play one of the better midfielders, and the other two sit on the bench. What's going on over there?
But even to Antonio's point, through all that he says, he has some points where
point?
No,
how he acts.
It's more
saying?
so no. You have to buy what
Into
the
him.
coach is selling.
Yeah, of course.
So Sarri has a very particular style. He's very more of a sergeant, right? As far as how he wants the game to be played. I even see him if you see his body language on the sidelines, he's always going like this.
Because he's annoyed.
Upset, because the players are not doing what he wants.
Exactly.
He wants to touch
robots.
the ball. Bum,
Like
bum,
Conte.
bum, bum,
Let me
and go
give you
forward.
one stat.
So when sometimes you have these creative geniuses, which is Milinkovic, Savic, Luis Alberto, they need to have the freedom that we see with Inzaghi on this Inter team, that he gives the players the freedom. So from having freedom and then now all of a sudden being jailed,
That's true.
the players are not going to be happy.
Let me just give you one stat.
Let's conclude.
The first year in Napoli, he lasted 1 year. Boom. He did a great job in the 2-3/4 of the Sarri. I'm talking about Sarri.
Yeah,
he was
last
there
1
for
year.
2
2
years.
years.
3-4 years.
Hey,
Yeah.
5.
No, 3-4
He
years.
did 1 year of a great job. 1 year of a great job, right? So all of a sudden he goes to dinner with
He
De
was there at least
Laurentiis.
3 years.
Everything goes down south. He goes to Chelsea. How long did he last in Chelsea?
2 years.
Okay, 4 years at Napoli, by the way.
2
How
years.
many years at Chelsea?
Chelsea, one season.
One season?
2018 to 2019.
Okay.
And he won a Europa League.
1 year gone.
Yeah.
He goes to Juventus. How long did he last?
1 year. But he won the Scudetto.
It's
One
also-
second.
It's also
One
not that.
second.
It's not that fair.
Okay,
mean,
1
yeah.
second. Let me
It's really not that
finish.
fair, okay.
What's not fair? I'm telling you what's not fair. That the
happened?
guy's personality is very, very, very difficult to buy
But we
if
all
you are
just
a
said
soccer
that.
player.
But we all just agreed with that.
Well,
he comes with that's a problem with Sarri. I don't like the baggage that he comes with.
It comes
Like,
with
I don't
yes.
like everything that he comes
His
with.
antics.
I mean,
He has
his
antics.
style is beautiful, but I'm starting to believe that style can only work with a young team that you have to build from the ground up. I mean, to Peter's point, these are great players who have creative freedom. And yes, people will say, oh, they didn't win a Scudetto. They didn't win this. They didn't win that. But they achieved a lot under Inzaghi. He brought that team to do a lot of good things. So they felt that. And now you're saying that they can't play together and overthinking things.
Exactly.
So maybe this fit was not as good as we might have
expected.
thought. Michael made up a great point. You would have thought this would have been perfect with the midfield. People said, at Juventus, he didn't have the midfield. Now he's got the midfield. Now you're going to see the Sarri ball. But we're not seeing it. And
Still early too.
Hey.
I gotta
But the
say,
best
with
midfielders
Sarri,
aren't
it's early.
playing.
With Sarri, it's early. You give him that 6 month.
But you're 100% right. But at the same time, is it early for your players to be pissed off
No,
at you?
of course not.
You
And
can't
not
have
playing?
you can't have Luis Alberto and Milinkovic Savic mad at you.
Yeah, exactly.
These are assets to the club that you ask any team in Europe. Maybe any team in Europe, they want these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, there's teams everywhere that are looking at them saying they're upset. I'm going to buy him. I want to grab him right now in January. It's just not good for the club. If the club does the strategy, which Lotito seems like, I'm sticking with Sarri, then okay, go with it.
Let me tell you something. If you go to Rome to watch the game right now, I mean to watch Lazio's playing, on the back of the Tifosi shirts, you don't see Sarri, you see Luis Alberto and you see Milinkovic Savic. So you gotta tell me that this guy here is gonna overrule Lotito and company and Tare over there to say, hey, listen, this is my philosophy. Those two guys that cannot play together.
But why they giving him a 2-year renewal then?
First of all, it's not official that he
No,
got
but he
it.
said
But
it. He
Lotito
put his
said
word.
we're giving him
He put his word in.
years.
He put
The
his word in.
Lazio's franchise is built around Luis Alberto and Milenkovic. If these guys here, they're gone, I think Lotito has made
see.
already his decision.
Let's
Maybe Lotito wants cash in and wants to sell the team.
Well, he's got to sell one
You
team.
heard it here first.
Guys,
Breaking
I don't
news.
know.
Guys, a great podcast. My dad never showed up.
Unfortunately.
This guy.
yeah.
What are we going to do with this guy?
No, well, we got a basket over there full of goodies.
That's true. He left all of that. You're right. We don't need them.
Yeah,
we got
yeah.
the food.
Hey, please delay a little bit more so we can just go through the goodies again.
Very good, guys. As always, thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, comment. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everybody. We'll probably have another episode coming soon, but just in case, Happy New Year, guys. We'll see you soon. As always, thank you for watching. We'll talk to you soon.
Ciao, guys. And Forza
Forza what? Forza Milan, of course.
Serie A, but okay.
All right.
Ciao, guys.
All right.